Hello everyone, welcome to a new video on the channel. We're going to be ranking all 6 of the classic Five Nights at Sonic's games. So let's get started. Let me figure out how to pause it. Can I pause the recording on OBS? No, I can't. Anyways, last place is Five Nights at Sonic's 4. Oh boy. Five Nights at Sonic's 4 Classic is the worst of the 6 classic games. And let me tell you why. It's because of the gameplay. Let me tell you why it's because of the gameplay. You see, according to Smiler, Ian, or the SciVap, rushed this game. And I kinda already saw that years ago, because Taste Gaming constantly got early access builds for this game. What originally he was going to do with Five Nights at Sonic's 4 was kind of have it be like Five Nights at Warriors 3, where each night is in a different room, but that was scrapped, and what we got is just wrong. And it's near impossible to get 100% in this game because of Nightmare Golden Sonic. There's a reason why my friend MUI Sonic Blaster had a grudge, and still kinda has a grudge, against Nightmare Golden. It's because of this game. This game is not that bad when you do nights 1 through 5. But once you get to night 6, it's when you start noticing the bullshittery of this. It's just, why? Maybe if this game had a bit more work put into it, and maybe if it had a bit better gameplay, maybe it would have been better. So yeah, last place is Five Nights at Sonic's 4 Classic. And 5th place is Five Nights at Sonic's 1. Five Nights at Sonic's 1 is, in my opinion, not a bad game, but it's just really difficult early on in the game. Like, I went through to play this game again on my channel, and I literally ran out of power on night 2. Which shows you that the AI in this game is kind of wonky. And my friend MMC Sonic Blaster and I are gonna be really grateful when All Stars is fully done, because then we'll have a proper good way to play Five Nights at Sonic's 1. But as of now, Five Nights at Sonic's 1 is really difficult, and not like actual Five Nights at Freddy's 1. And the reason for that is because you can't cam-stall Sonic. Sonic and Yoshi basically work the same. You close the door on them until they're gone. But Freddy in FNAF 1 works completely different. And another thing that makes this game so hard is how frequently Tails gets out of his curtain. And strategies for this game are kind of hard to do as of now. But when All-Stars comes out, hopefully it fixes all of those issues. Now, let's move on to 4th place. And 4th place is... Five Nights at Sonic's 2. What the hell? What? Okay, I forgot I just downloaded this game and I didn't play it yet, but... Yeah. Five Nights at Sonic's 2. Oh boy. It's... I would say one of the more challenging games to do, and that's because it has AI that is quite accurate to FNAF 2. But, and by that I mean, like, they're not generous when you're with the vent characters. Like, unless because you have to be quick when it comes to those vent characters. If you mess up, you're done. It's just that bad. But I played the All-Stars demo of FNAF 2. I saw Smiler fix that issue, so I can't wait for the port of All-Stars to come out, so I can play Five Nights at Sonic's 2 fully. Yeah. Now, let's move on. Actually, no. Let me just say something. This gameplay is kind of strange, and I just am kind of weirded out by this game's gameplay because I want to like Five Nights at Sonic's 2 because it's probably one of the games I got quite far in. That's why it's this high up. But it's just the difficulty factor of this game that makes it be at 4th place. So it's technically in like the middle area. It's not that bad, but not that good either. It's in the middle in terms of Five Nights at Sonic's games with number 3. And speaking of number 3, let's talk about what I think is the 3rd place in terms of Five Nights at Sonic's. And 3rd place is Five Nights at Sonic's 5. Let's see if let's hope it loads. I'm hoping it loads. Oh, there it is. And, oh goodness me, oh. I didn't mean to do that, I didn't mean to do that. Boy, sorry. Five Nights at Sonic's 5. Now. Oh, there we go. Proper full screen now. Now, Five Nights at Sonic's 5 is in 3rd place for a reason. And it's both a good and a bad thing. that it's in 3rd place. The good reason that it's in 3rd place is that it's probably one of the easiest games to 100%. It's actually probably the easiest to 100%. But the gameplay is kind of slow. Sure, the game's nights are not that long, but they feel long. Especially the first 4. And it takes up to night 5 and 6 for the gameplay to get actually interesting. Sure, this gets fixed in hard mode, but still. It's still quite a bit challenging, but it's probably one of the easier games. Probably the easiest game to get 100%. And Smiler says that when he gets to work on All-Stars FNAS 5, it will have better gameplay, which I am excited for. I hope you guys are excited for it as well. And I really like the Golden Sonics, and this is a good way to tell the beginning of the timeline of the series. Now, let's move on to number 2. And number 2 is Five Nights at Sonic's 3 Classic. Why do I have to press it? Oh, there we go. Five Nights at Sonic's 3 Classic. Now, I believe out of like the first 5 games, and a lot of people say this as well, Five Nights at Sonic's 3 is probably the best one gameplay-wise. Because it has such amazing gameplay, because it has FNAF 3 gameplay, but with a mixture of the mask mechanic. And that's good, but you might be asking, if it's really this good, why is it in 2nd place? That is because of the Golden Sonic of this game. 27 Golden Sonic. Oh boy, 27. 27 is probably one of my favorite of the Golden Sonic. Probably one of my favorites of the Goldens. But his gameplay in FNAS 3 is kind of unfair. And Smiler's gonna fix that in All-Stars. Let me tell you why it's unfair. You see, if he's in your office, you'll have to hold the panel up in his face until he's gone. But if a masked character comes in and if he's not gone, you die. Which is kind of unfair. Thank goodness Smiler is gonna fix this with All-Stars FNAS 3. And they technically already, and someone made a fan-made remake of FNAS 3 called FNAS 3 Reburned. And I loved FNAS 3 Reburned. Actually 100% the game. And I highly recommend checking out FNAS 3 Reburned. Because it's quite a good game. Now, so yeah, overall, this game is probably the only game in the series that is probably probably the hardest to get 100%. Let me tell you why. It's because of a bug in survival mode. most people think, oh, you can only get 1 star in survival mode in Final Fantasy 3. That's not true. You can get 3 survival stars. But there's a bug in the game where the clock sometimes bugs out. There is a chance you can 100% Final Fantasy 3, but it's very, very, very unlikely. So Final Fantasy 3 is probably one of the hardest to 100%. Probably the hardest to 100% out of all of the classic games. It's second place because it's good. It's probably the best out of the first 5. Now you might be asking yourself, okay, you're done with the classic games because you did the first 5, right? Well, to people that say that, I'm counting one more game as a classic game in the series. And this is probably a lot of people. This is probably going to be controversial, but I'm going to have to say it. Manic Mania Classic is my favorite game out of all of classic games in the series. Because this is actually the first game, the only game in the entire series I 100% completed. And I'm really excited for Manic Mania Infinite. And a lot of my friends are as well. Because there's a lot to look forward to in Manic Mania Infinite. More mechanics, more characters, more aim. And this is the best game in the series because it's really fun and most of the game is quite easy. It's quite all the challenges in this game are not that hard. And a lot of people can have a good time with this game. Sure, the controls are a bit finicky, but they're not that finicky. Manic Mania Classic is my favorite out of the classic Final Fantasy games. Because there was a lot of hype built up for Manic Mania in terms of Final Fantasy fandom. And yeah, that's it for now. I just love it. The gameplay of Manic Mania Infinite. They incorporate mechanics from across the series. They incorporate characters from across the series. They even have scrapped characters from games in here. They even have characters from Rock Clones in here. And Rock Clones is not on the list because it got cancelled. And I just, like, they have characters like Dr. Gold, Toy Tails, Tails Doll, plus Tails. Like, this game has it all. So yeah, I'm really excited for Infinite. So yeah, that's all the Final Fantasy games ranked. See you guys next time. Bye. I hope you guys can tell me in the comments, how would you guys rank these games? Tell me how you guys would rank these games.